What's going on, everybody? I'm Giant Opinion Sports, and today we're going to talk about the top running backs in the 2022 draft. I was asked to make this video. I didn't want to make individual videos for all these guys, so I'm just going to toss them out all together. I try to avoid a 20-minute video, probably will be something like that. So we're just going to touch on key points with each prospect. Let's get into it. I'm not going to rank these guys or anything. I did put them kind of in order 1 to 10 where I like them or where I think they could possibly go, but you never know. There's so many different schemes, and plus all these guys are kind of really close together, second round or fourth round. So it's all about your flavor. But the first running back I'm going to talk about is Kenneth Walker out of Michigan State. He's probably the first running back drafted this year. He tested well at the combine, ran a 4.38 40, had a 34-inch vertical, and that's at 211 pounds. So that's just pretty damn good. He's obviously got the speed. He shows excellent power on tape as well. He's very twitchy, great contact balance. I don't have really any questions that he could step in to a running back, one role, just a workhorse. Now he'll be that one cut style runner. He identifies the lane and just goes. He hits it. He plays with great pad level. He drops his pads on tackles, punishes defenders. He'd be great for a cold weather team, I think. This is the type of running back you want in a playoff game, an open field, and freezing outside. Now, he's not the most instinctual runner. Sometimes he's a bit too impatient, doesn't follow through his run fit where he's supposed to go. That'll improve with time, you hope. I want to see him be a bit more decisive. His pass protection needs work as well, but overall, he's still an impressive prospect. Now, my second running back is Breece Hall from Iowa State. He's another freak athlete at running back. He ran a 4.39 40, vertical jump 40 inches, and he's no tiny guy as well. He goes 217 pounds, so it's very possible if Kenneth Walker isn't the first running back off the board, Breece Hall will be that guy. So just like Walker, his size, speed, power, top notch. He's not so much a twitchy guy. He's more of a runner that's going to build up speed in the open field. So listen, if he gets in the open field, it's a problem for opposing defense. This is a guy who had 5 touchdowns on runs that went for 75 yards or more. So he's dangerous. He's also super hard to bring down once he gets going. Now, he's got some elusiveness, but that's really more downfield. If you can catch him in the backfield early enough, his elusiveness kind of wanes. He's decent at reading running lanes. Definitely needs to improve. He also needs to be more decisive. He's way too hesitant. I think Breece Hall could also be a running back number 1. He's had a lot of work in college, 800 carries in the last 3 seasons, but he's a tough kid. He should be good on third downs. My number 3 running back is Dameon Pierce out of Florida. And my wife's a huge Florida fan, so I know this guy well. He's not the fastest running back, but man, this guy is twitchy as hell. He is very shifty. He was severely underused last season and still managed to put up 16 touchdowns. And listen, sometimes underused in college is a good thing for an NFL prospect. Maybe you can squeeze an extra 2 or 3 years out of him, because these running backs really do got such a short shelf life. But this is a powerful kid, and he's a violent runner. He is not going to mess around. He is going to be hitting holes. And he can make defenders miss as well. He breaks tackles in them congested parts of the field. He's got a nice looking juke move. It's not as dynamic as we saw from Kadarius Toney last year, but he makes you have some flashbacks at times when he makes defenders look silly. Now, there is times he kind of bounces around too much. I'm sure coaches will try and beat that out of him in the NFL. And he's not the best runner in between the tackles, so a wide zone scheme might be the best offense for him. Maybe that could limit the pool of teams that are interested in him, but you can't ignore his production. I read an article that he scored a touchdown every 7 touches. That's insane. He's definitely a weapon, and if he lands on the right team, watch out, NFL. Now, my number 4 running back is Tyler Algier out of BYU. Say what you want about Algier, but this kid has been as productive as anyone in college at running back. He had 1,600 yards rushing last season, 23 rushing touchdowns. That's in 13 games. This is a kid that walked on BYU and earned his spot on the team. He didn't have any scholarships as far as I could find out. Now, Algier is a thick, stocky guy, and unlike the guys we've been talking about, he is a very instinctual runner. His vision is top-notch. He quickly identifies running lanes. He's not the fastest guy or super twitchy, but you do get flashes of the speed. We just need to see it more consistently. He's a bigger guy, so his size allows him to take hits and stay on his feet. He'll probably be better in a zone run scheme. He'll be a little bit better running on the inside, most likely just because he lacks that top end speed. Also, he's not a great option as a third down running back. His pass protection does need work, and his hands are not that great. So if he can improve on that, I'll be a lot higher on him. But my number 5 running back is James Cook out of Georgia. He's the smallest of the running back group so far. Cook has really good speed. He is Dalvin Cook's little brother, so that should interest teams maybe a little bit more. He's also another guy who hasn't been overused in college. Sometimes that's good. Plenty of tread on his tires. I like his vision and cutting ability. It's special. But he doesn't have great strength. His contact balance is poor compared to some of these other guys in his class. Can he build up his body some and make improvements? I seriously hope so. At this point, he'll be restricted to outside zone, toss plays, stretch plays, because he doesn't have the strength to run in between the tackles. But when you get him in the open field, he is dangerous. I'd love to see him used on some of that gimmicky new age offense stuff, on screens, and just in the pass game in general. So maybe you find production for him in a less traditional way. I do love his instincts, though. He's patient when he needs to be. He turns on the burners when he needs to. I ultimately want him to bulk up and start finishing on his run plays, though. But the flashes of talent are definitely there. My number 6 running back is Brian Robinson Jr. out of Alabama. Listen, this is a big bruising running back. Robinson has great speed and power. Biggest running back we've talked about so far. He is 6'2", pushing 230 pounds. He's just got an NFL frame. He's definitely capable of being a workhorse running back. He's the type of running back that will slowly grind down a defense. He's not going to break a bunch of tackles with finesse. He's going to power through defenders. He's going to lower the pads and deal damage. Now, he plays a bit upright at times. He must improve his pad level. He's not an instinctual running back. That will need to improve. The speed is good, but he's one of them guys that just needs time to build it up. Pure and simple, this guy is a freight train. I personally know that defensive guys do not look forward to playing running backs like that. You're gonna have a sore body for a few days. But when you play that style, health always becomes a factor. Let's just hope he can stay healthy. But I really like him. Now, my number 7 running back is Jerome Ford. Ford is a very popular choice by my fellow Giants fans in mock drafts. He really reminds me of a former Giants running back, David Wilson, the flipper. Ford doesn't have the speed Wilson had, but they are very eerily similar, in my opinion. Now, if you're drafting Jerome Ford and hoping he develops into a workhorse running back, it just ain't going to happen. I'd put money on it. He's more of a change of pace running back, third down kind of guy. He has serious struggles with reading run lanes. He's one of them guys that'll just run right up the back of his blockers. That shit personally drives me crazy. Now, if you get Ford big openings, then he can really hurt a defense. His combination of speed and power is a handful once he gets chugging along. Ford is another running back that was used sparingly, and with him probably being a role player or a backup in the NFL, he could have a very long career. I will say that. Now, I like him in his own run offense. His agility is excellent. Let him use his athleticism and not be forced to be, just read the protection. He's going to have to get better at holding onto the ball. Fumbling has been an issue. But I like him in the receiving game. He could definitely be a weapon in that department. It just really sucks that he's not great with the mental processing stuff because he could be so special. But I do think he's still a quality third down running back. Definitely an intriguing prospect. Now, my number 8 running back is Kyren Williams out of Notre Dame. By all reports, Williams is a great leader. He's a team captain. So he's a fiery, high-character guy. That's always a nice addition to a team. But I think Williams could be a borderline elite third down running back. He's cut from that New England cloth. Think of like a young Dion Lewis. This is a running back you can kick out to the slot, out the receiver. You can use him in just a bunch of different ways. On top of being a good receiver running back, he's very gritty. He's a hard worker. He showed in college that he can handle the workload for a bit if necessary. He's not a super fast guy and doesn't have that crazy burst. Now, he's quick, but he just doesn't have that elite physical traits, really. He fumbled way too much in college, just like Jerome Ford. I just wished he had a bit more burst after his cuts. If he did, he'd probably be a lot higher on my list. He needs to add more power in his legs and body, but that should come with, just proper NFL workout regimen. And once the power is in place, he'll be a much better, well-rounded player. But I'm huge on him being a third down back. I'm excited to see his production if he goes to a team like New England or San Francisco. It could be really good. Now, my number 9 running back is Zaquandre White out of South Carolina. He's one of the guys that has been getting overlooked in this year's running back class. Zaquandre is a big athletic guy. He has great vision. He runs a bit too much upright, so the pad level's going to have to improve. But this is a guy who just has great straight line speed. He showed great change of direction as well, good burst. All those things are not common for bigger backs like him, and the power shows up on tape as well. He has decent contact balance. He needs to improve on catching passes, but he flashes really good route running. So there is some tools there. His overall elusiveness is the really only negative, but everything else is really good. And that's what I come away with. Just like I had to say, I think he could be one of them later round guys that emerges as a starter. This is a guy who hasn't been overused as well. He's never really been a full-time starter till the second half of this past season. I really like his vision. He is so patient, just disciplined. He allows his linemen to set up the blocks. He finds gaps and gets himself in the open field. He's not going to dance and dick around and lose unnecessary yards. My number 10 running back is Pierre Strong out of South Dakota State. This is a lightning fast kid. He ran a 4.37 40 at the combine. That's great speed for just a decent sized running back. And just like Zaquandre White, I think Pierre Strong could be one of them later round running backs that could be a player that just becomes a full-time starter. Tons of value for a later round option. On top of the speed, he is very instinctual. He's a player with excellent awareness. This is a great read and react running back, and I love how he wants to get north. If he sees an opening up the middle and some easy yards, he will take it, and he will grab them yards. He can also hit the home run as well. This is a guy who has 10 rushing touchdowns of 50 or more yards, so very well-rounded. I just love his cutting ability. He's just one of them guys that defenders have a hard time lining up a shot on. I don't know if it's just like subtle movements or what it is about these guys. It's just very weird. Like Eric Dickerson was a guy like that. It looks like he's going to get tackled and people just slide off of him. The leg drive maybe is a factor. Whatever it is, I'm not going to get hung up on it. Just a little weird thing I've always thought about. There was moments where Pierre Strong was a bit indecisive. Not very often, but I saw it. The elusiveness isn't elite, but it's good. He may be more of a first and second down back, or early down back, I guess the phrase is. His hands need to improve with pass catching. His pass protection needs work. So, third and longs, you probably don't want him out there. But I'm just so excited to see Pierre Strong. And if he gets with the right team, with a good offensive line, you never know. This guy, I'm telling you, this guy could become a full-time starter. Don't sleep on him. That's it for me. That's my list. I think I kept it under 20 minutes. That was the plan. This video was just a culmination of 2 weeks of scouting off and on here and there. Grab a game here and there when I could. Well worth it though. I don't regret it. Please leave me a like. These are a lot of work. If you're new, subscribe. I got a lot more prospects to go. I'm going to try and get a lot of these ranking things going. And maybe I can get up some of them later round prospects. I don't want to do an entire video on just that one person. This might be a good way to just squeeze everybody in together. But got a lot more to go. I'm going to go all the way up to the draft with this stuff. Everybody stay safe out there. Stay warm. Peace, y'all.